So now we're going to go and do 5b and then 5c real quick. So 5b, let's do the x factor. Our a times c value is 12. Our b value is 7. So two numbers that have a product of 12 and a sum of 7. Well, 4 and 3 do that. So since our a value is not 1, we have to rewrite 4x squared plus, and remember, we're going to replace the 7x with these two factors. So plus 4x plus 3x plus 3. Okay? So now we can group. So let's group the first terms and the second set of terms. What can we factor out of the first grouping? Looks like we can factor out a 4x. When we do that, what do we have left? X plus 1. What can we factor out of the second set? Looks like we can factor out a 3. When we do that, we get x plus 1. Since the groupings are the same, we can add the coefficients and come up with 4x plus 3 times x plus 1. Answer is D. Okay, going to 5c. Let's do our x factor. A times c is 12. Our b value is negative 7. So I need two numbers that are going to give me a product of 12 and a sum of negative 7. So that would be negative 4 and negative 3. So again, our a value is not 1, so we're going to replace our b value with those two terms. So I'm going to get 2x squared minus 4x plus a negative 3x plus 6. I'm going to group the two sets of terms. Notice I added a plus negative sign in front of the 3x so I could do the grouping without any problems. It doesn't change the value of anything. So the first term, I can factor out a 2x. I'm going to get x minus 2. What can I factor out of the second grouping to get it to look like x minus 2? That's right, I could factor out a negative 3. That's going to give me x minus 2. Groupings are the same, so I can rewrite this as 2x minus 3 times x minus 2. So the answer would be B. Okay. When factoring a number when a is not equal to 0 and ac is less than 0, this really doesn't matter to us. We know how to do this, so let's just rewrite it. 4x squared minus 4x minus 15. What's my a times c value? My a times c value is negative 60. My b value is negative 4. Two numbers that have a product of negative 60 and a sum of negative 4. Okay? Well, let's think about that. Negative 10 times 6 gives me negative 16. If you add those together, you get negative 4. So again, since my a value is not 1, we're going to replace that negative 4x with these two terms. So I'm going to write 4x squared minus 10x plus 6x minus 15. Okay, let's group these two sets of terms. What can I factor out of the first one? It looks like I can factor out a 2x. When I do that, I'm going to get 2x minus 5. Well, what can I factor out of the second one? Well, it looks like I can factor out a 3. So I'm going to get 2x minus 5. Since the groupings are the same, I can say 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 5. Nothing changed for us. Okay, now we have some unique situations. We have what we call perfect square trinomials. It is a product you obtain when you square a binomial. An example of this is x squared plus 10x plus 25. It can be written as x plus 5 squared. The first and third term of the trinomials are always positive, and they represent squares of two terms of the binomial. The middle term of the trinomial is 2 times the product of these two terms. So if you want to look at it this way, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared is the same thing as a plus b squared. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared is nothing more than a minus b squared. So let's look at factoring a perfect square trinomial. So we have this written down. 9x squared minus 42x plus 49. So to be a perfect square, this needs to be a, this would be negative 2ab, and this would have to be b. Alright, sorry, a squared and b squared. So is 9x squared a perfect square? Yes, it's a perfect square of 3x. So it's going to be 3x squared. Okay, and what about 49? Is that a perfect square? Yes, it is 7 squared. So the question becomes, is negative 42x equal, is negative 42x equal to our a value, 3x, times our b value, which is 7, times 2. So is negative 42x, that'd be a negative 2. So 3 times 7 is 21. 21 times 2 is negative 42. Negative 42x. So it is a perfect square trinomial. So we could rewrite this as 3x minus 7 squared. Because that's our a and b value. Alright, let's do a few of these real quick. Okay, the first term, the a term, alright, it can be rewritten as 2x squared. The c term can be written as 3 squared. So is the b term is 12x. Is that the same thing as 2 times 2x times 3? It is. So I can rewrite this as 2x plus 3 squared. Answer is D. 7b. The first term is the same thing as 8x squared. The b term is the same thing as 1 squared. So is 2ab, that'd be negative 2ab, is that equal to negative 16x? Well, negative 2, our a value is 8x, our b value is 1. So it is going to equal negative 16x. So I can rewrite this as 8x minus 1 squared. Answer is D. Okay, 7c. The a term can be rewritten as 5x squared. The b term can be rewritten as 9 squared. Can the middle term be 2ab? 2ab, does that equal 90x? So our 2, our a value is 5x, and our b value is 9. So that does equal 90x. So our value is just going to be a plus b squared, which is 5x plus 9 squared. Easy enough. Last example. If I get a squared minus b squared, I can rewrite this as a plus b times a minus b. So let's look at it. So if I get x squared minus 25, that's really x squared minus 5 squared. So that's really going to be x plus 5 times x minus 5. And those are some of the shortcuts. The difference of squares and the product and sum of squares, okay? Hopefully that helps make sense. Review your notes as much as you need. Make sure you feel really, really comfortable doing these things.